What's up, guys, and thank you for watching this video. I hope that you are going to enjoy it. And by the way, this is the first video of the year, so I know today's what, January 20th. It's a little late, but I would say happy new year to all of you guys, and I hope that this new year bring you all but only good thing. Now, some of you may be wondering why I got my hoodie on in my garage. My garage is not heated. I do have the little heater blowing in the back, but it is pretty cold today. Temperature is 33 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is about 0 degrees Celsius, so it is kind of freezing in here, but that's not what we're here for. And what we're here for is because of this guy. This is my new band and flight. Yes, guys, this is a band and flight. If you are familiar with my channel, I do like to build my own quad, but because the price of this drone, it just didn't make sense for me to build it. This is the Manta 10X Lite. You heard me, guys. This is a 10-inch drone from AxisFlying, and as far as my research goes, this is the cheapest 10-inch you can buy. You pretty much can get this 10-inch for the price of a 5-inch drone, and of course, being a 10-inch, this is a long-range drone. The Manta 10X Lite from AxisFlying, and I got this guy out of AliExpress for 570 bucks. This version does come with the DJI O3 Air unit, and I opted this time to go with a crossfire receiver. You know I'm a big fan of Express LRS, but let me grab this. I still have my Mambo, and this thing has been collecting dust, so I decided to go with crossfire this time. So yeah, we got a DJI O3 Air unit, we have crossfire, we have a 10-inch drone for long range, but of course you can fly it whatever way you want to. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go out and show you some of the flight footage from this guy as a long range drone. After that, we're going to come back. I want to kind of go a little bit over what you're going to be getting for 550 bucks or 570 bucks. That's the price I got this guy from. If you're someone who's not interested in the DJI version, they do make an analog version of the same drone, and that one actually go for 250, so that's much cheaper. And again, guys, 2024, you can get yourself a 10-inch drone for the price of a 5-inch drone. All right, so about to take this big boy for a flight. I'm just gonna show you the way I have everything set up. I got two 4006S Lion Lapo on top, and by the way, this drone does come with a XT90 connector for your battery. So if you don't have battery with XT90 connector, you're gonna have to make yourself a little adapter. I make this one myself. The box does not include an adapter from an XT90 to XT60. The drone, it is set up right now, weighs to, I think it was 2200 grams, so that's about 2.2 kilo. So it's pretty heavy, especially with the GoPro on top. I usually don't fly with the GoPro, but just for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be flying with the GoPro, and that is pretty much it. Let's go for a little flight. Alright, let me tell you what I'm going to be doing during this flight footage. I'm going to be switching the video feed. I'll be showing you video feed from the goggle, video feed from the DJI VTX, and the video from the GoPro 8. As far as the DJI VTX, I am actually recording 2.7K 60 frame, and I do have Rocksteady on, so that's just gonna give you an idea of how good this drone is flying. Sometime with the DJI VTX with Rocksteady on, if you have a drone that has issue with vibration, you won't get no good stabilization with this drone. That was not an issue, so they're gonna let you know how good this drone is flying. today it was a little windy, and you see the drone shake once every while. And I actually don't think it was the wind. The little shakiness you be seeing in the drone, I think it was actually from my finger facing out. The drone does come with Betaflight 442, and AxisFlying was nice enough to do the tuning for us, so you really don't need to do much tuning on this drone. I would say if you're just going to be flying it for long range, you really don't need to do any tuning. It is flying pretty good with the tune from AxisFlying. I would say if you want to be using it for freestyle, you definitely going to have to make some adjustment in the tune. Now, as far as the prop in view, you can see we do have the prop in view, and that is basically because this is a X configuration drone. It's not a dead cat, so no matter what you do, you're gonna have the prop in view on your video feed or your FPV feed, and that's just the way it is with the type of configuration. As far as flight time goes, I am actually getting 23 to 25 a minute of flight time. This is not my first flight with this drone, and with the way I have it set up with the two 4006S round battery, I'm getting, as I say, 23 to 25 minute flight time, and that is with me landing at 3.0 on my batteries. And of course, with Lion battery, you can go all the way down to 2.5. So I would say once the weather get better, I should be getting easily over 30 minutes of flight time with this setup. And that actually make it pretty efficient. That actually made it a little more efficient than some of my 7-inch drone. Now, another thing I need to say is that even though it is a abandoned flight, I will advise you guys, actually this goes for any abandoned flight. Whenever you get a abandoned flight, just make sure to go into Betaflight, make sure that everything is set up the right way. With this guy, the setup was kind of funny. I had a couple of things that didn't really make sense to me. One, they had air mode on the switch, which is ridiculous. So I took it off switch, set up to where air mode is always on. And they actually also had set up for angle mode. I don't know why you fly a 10-inch on angle mode. As I know, I mean, there is really no reason why you cannot. But yeah, I just turned the angle mode off. And also the arming switch was set to low instead of high, so I had to change that too. So I would say just make sure to go into Betaflight and make sure that everything is set up the way it's supposed to be. And as far as screws goes, always make sure that your screws are tight enough on the abandoned flight. With this drone, everything was fine as far as screws, except for the DJI camera screws. Those were completely loose, so I had to tighten them up before I go for a flight. Well, folks, back inside, let's talk a little more about the Manta 10X Lite. And I did take the props out because I felt like every time I was moving this drone, I was gonna end up poking one of my eye and end up in an ED. For $570, what do you get? Except for the drone, you're not really getting much. And I think that's one of the way AxisFlying is able to sell this drone for the price it's selling at. This drone comes in a simple box, cardboard box, no marking or anything. And inside the box, you get the props, you get the drone, and you get some antenna, and that's pretty much it. No manual or anything. And I have to say, if you someone that's planning on buying this guy, if you are new to the hobby, I would say stay away from this guy because this is a big drone. You got big props, you got a lot of power. You can really hurt yourself or you can hurt someone very easily. So if you are new to the hobby, I would say stay away from this drone. I know the price is very attractive, but you're better off getting a Flywoo or a 5-inch drone maybe. Just start small. Get a Flywoo or get yourself a 2-inch drone. This is for the people that actually know what they're doing. Now, since I took the props out, I'll start by talking about those props. Those are Gen fan props, and they are 10 by 50, carbon-bladed, of course. The one thing I'll say about those props is that they are made of glass nylon fiber. They are not made of the polycarbonate plastic. That's usually what is used for drone props. And they fly great, as you see in the video. I got no issue about how they're flying. But the thing about any props that not made of the polycarbonated plastic is that they're usually very fragile and brittle. And I've had those props before on some of my older drones. Fly good, but do not strike or do not eat anything with those props because with the polycarbonate fiber they will bend. With the glass nylon fiber props, if you strike anything, the thing will just explode. Now, looking at the drone, first thing I'll talk about is the frame. The frame looks pretty rigid. It is a very nice frame. According to AxisFlying, it is made out of T700 carbon. That's supposed to be the highest quality carbon. The frame is pretty rigid, and I mean it is a pretty good frame, no vibration while I'm flying it, which is pretty amazing because 10-inch drone or big drone are kind of tend to have a lot of vibration, and that's just because of the longer arm and bigger props. But this guy, as you've seen it on the video, on the fly footage, fly pretty good. Let me just go quickly over some of the dimension. The top plate on the frame, you can't really get to see it, but the top plate is 2 mm thick. The middle plate is 3 mm thick, and the bottom plate is also 3 mm thick, and those arms are 7 mm thick. So pretty good frame. You do have enough space for big batteries, and I think the biggest battery I could put on these guys was my 5000 milliamp 6S batteries. That is the biggest I can put on this guy, but as you see when I fly, I usually like to fly with 2 Lion batteries and they fit in there perfectly. And as far as motor goes, those are some beefy motors, and those do not have any marking on them. So I don't know if AxisFlying actually make those motors, because I know AxisFlying do make motors, but usually AxisFlying motor have marking on it. There is no marking anywhere on this motor. It's just completely black and gray. Those are 3115 motors, so big motor, and they are rated at 900 kV and very responsive. The drone does come with side plates, and that is pretty much something I flat started and everybody else follow iFlat. The side plates are made of 3D printed parts. They look pretty good. You have opening to get access to your flight controller. You have another small opening in the front right under the antenna, and this opening is to give you access to the binding button for your DJI-03 VTX. And on the other side, you do have an opening for the USB-C on the VTX, but as you may see, I end up cutting a little part off of the side plate, and that's because it didn't give me access to the SD slot cards. As far as camera mount goes, the O3 air unit camera is held in place with silicone, the silicone material here. That actually is very nice out of AxisFlying, because they could have gone with 3D printed parts, but this is actually silicone. And as you've seen in the video earlier, it does do a very good job to isolate the camera from any kind of vibration coming from the drone. I do really like the way they have the DJI antennas mounted on this frame. They're coming out, I call it bunny ears on both sides. So no matter what battery you put on this drone, you should have full access to your antenna. And those are things, they're pretty long antenna anyway. There's a couple of things I had to add on this drone to make it long range capable. First of all, I had to add my GPS. It is kind of strange for a drone that claims to be a long range drone, and this is 10H, it is a long range drone. It does not come with a GPS, and I just added my little BN220. This GPS is an old GPS I have, worked pretty good, and you see in the flat I get plenty of satellite with this little GPS, but you're gonna have to add your own GPS. So I'll say that will bump the price. Whatever you buy, either the analog or the DJI, you're gonna have to think about getting an extra 20 bucks for a GPS. Another thing I had to add on this drone is that I had to add a barometer because the stack that come with it, it is the AxisFlying Argus. The flight controller is the F405. That flight controller actually does not have a barometer. So if you want to get your altitude, you're gonna have to add a external barometer, and the one I add, I'm gonna put it in the description. It's the one from Flywoo. It actually does come with a barometer and a magnetometer. And the ESC used on this guy is a BA-LES 60 amp 6S rated ESC. Work pretty good, nothing really to say. And they were nice enough to already upload Blu-ray, so you do have bi-directional D-shot on this guy. If you're looking for a long range drone that's not going to break your bank, this is actually a pretty good option. It is cheaper than most of the famous long range drone. It is much cheaper than the camera. It is much cheaper than the Mars 7. It is definitely much cheaper than the new 10-inch from Flight. I think it's the Alien. Definitely cheaper option. So yeah, 2024, if you want to get yourself a 10-inch drone, this is the drone for you guys. I would say that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next one. And again, guys, Happy New Year.